Nice Shorts theme song.
Nice shorts. Yeah.
Hi, Julia. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Because this film is highly inspired by your family and
Yeah.
like the past history. So I want to start with like the name Before Long. And
Yeah.
also what is about why this story linger so many years for you and last year you decide to push it and make it out to the world.
Yeah. I can't really remember how I came up with the title. Like, I think in the beginning it was there because it's something you say in Germany. I guess if you say goodbye to someone and you know that that's won't be for a long time. And because in the film she goes away and then doesn't know it, but will be returning at some point. So I thought it would be kind of fitting, and it's not too long.
Yeah.
And it's inspired by, loosely inspired, I say, by my grandma's life story. She was such a fun and slightly mischievous woman, which I really loved. I spent so much time with her, and we always had that thing in my family. I grew up in the east of Germany, so with anyone who's not familiar with Germany's history, there was a divide, and on the east side, you were very restricted in where you could go and what you're allowed to do and stuff like that. And there was a thing in our family that my father was the only one in our family who wasn't born in the east of Germany, and I was always wondering, why is that? And so we had lots of discussions when I was a little kid, but that's not something you would talk about, I guess. So when I got older, I kept asking my grandma for how this came about and more stuff about her life. And when this topic came up, she said that she went across the border to be together with my grandpa, I guess. And stayed there, got my father was born, and later some form of exchange with my great grandparents, and my grandpa said the thing that he said in the film, and so she just went back. And it wasn't just her and my dad, it was also he had siblings, and so it wasn't as easy as just going crossing that divide with one, but several kids, in fact. And I thought that was just remarkable that she had to live through World War II to when she got up, then she had this kind of hardship, and she was just so fun and didn't, because other people in my family who have gone through some hardship, it's something they always carry in front of them. It's like, no, you can't talk to me like that because it's through all the things I've been through. And she was the complete opposite, which was something that kind of stuck with me. And I wanted to kind of get into that. And why it's been with me for such a long time is just the thought that someone you love says something like that to you, is so threatening you and putting you in an impossible position. And it's always been, why would you do something like that to someone? And that's a question that has been with me ever since. And it's that thing that, am I crazy? So I'm putting it out there maybe for other people to say, yeah, you're crazy. That's absolutely normal that you be like that. I don't know.
That moment was wild. What year did that decision happen?
So it's slightly before 57-ish. So it was still,
Oh,
when she went, it wasn't really allowed to go, but it was easier than later. So that's why you still had to be checked, and you weren't really allowed to go. So there was lots of security measures in place, and you had to find a way around that. And when she got back, when things gotten obviously worse, then to make that decision, okay, then I kind of sacrifice my freedom, even though that's, if you look at things that are happening today in the world, it's not really comparable, but then to sacrifice your freedom just to say, okay, you're that important to me, I come back, and then yeah, it's a
Yeah.
tough thing, and it's still something that's on my mind a lot.
Yeah, because the wall doesn't come down till 89, right? So,
Mhm.
I mean, that's another over 30 years that she had to, wow.
Yeah, even though in those years traveling and such had been restricted, she was so keen to have little adventures and stuff, and she'd always told us about it. And I think all the possibilities she would have had if she decided to.
Yeah.
Another curious thing is that all of those story and memory, or maybe conversation, is like all stay in your mind, or by writing a script, you also have a little like interview recording or anything. Like, how does that form?
Unfortunately, my grandma passed away like right before COVID, so I'm really glad that she
Sorry.
didn't have to go all through it. Yeah, it's good. And that's all the things I have in my head from conversations we had. I tried to talk about these things with other people from my family, but most of them, that's also a thing I keep thinking about a lot when coming up with new scripts, for example, like the things we talk to others about and to which things we say to which people and what we keep inside, kind of. So it's always interesting to see what the versions of the story I got and the versions of the story my sister got or my dad got or my aunt got. So it's
Wow.
really interesting.
Yeah. So you did this at Aardman Academy
Yeah.
because you go through phases of the film production there, right? Like you pitch your ideas, then you work on a script together.
Yep.
What was the process from idea and sharing this experience to getting it drafted to a script that we saw?
Working on that script on my own for quite some time because, as I said, I'm also doing little films for myself
Mhm.
sometimes, and I like writing, so I worked on that for a bit. So there was that. So I came with a pretty set script, I guess, but through the process of pitching and then getting back to let's be actually realistic about that. What's possible to make in half a year?
Yeah.
That was condensed down to what we see mainly. Because I have these warm feelings of my grandma and me watching cartoons in the morning. So I had like this whole idea of maybe giving that some framing it like that, that you see those people you see in maybe different stages in the middle, but frame the whole action so that it has more like a relates more to me in a kind of way, but that's not really what the story is about. And I wanted to the people at Artman help to maybe get to that point because there are always so many things you want to say and then really focus on one thing and hopefully do that well at so since it's the first time I worked with people, the thing I can only recommend is working with people. It's really good, especially for example, I love editing, love it, love it, love it. But if you work it so long on stuff, you can't handle it with the objectivity or something that's needed or bring a new perspective to it. It's so good to have someone there just taking that off your plate and doing something like that. So then if it comes to the stop motion side of things, I've learned to really value good shoes and a thick mat under your feet if you have to stand all day long. So that's another thing.
Okay, a real quick question is, so the thing that you took away was working with people, but
Yeah,
academy's over, so you're back to
yeah.
your own. So how do you incorporate that now that you are back on your own?
Of course, I don't know that many people that work in that area and can help me in that way, but I have lots of friends who are good at writing, so working with them is something I'm trying to push more. Just look, maybe we haven't it hasn't worked out before, but now I've made this thing, I can do it.
Amazing.
Let's hear your ideas and boil it down. So we're at the minute looking at, I found this, like, for example, 12-second festival where everything's 12 seconds, and then maybe that's a good place to start working together. You only have to think about something. It's very, very small. It's good. And yeah, also just reaching out if I think I need something. I wasn't really good with that before, and it's easier now that there are more. I know more people and they know people, and maybe tapping into that a bit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Stop motion is just something, I don't know, I've grown up with it. I love building in general, so stop motion is perfect. You can build all the things. I also like drawing, but there's something special about just building, and so that felt natural somehow.
How you feel about the process of animating, like the performance? Do you enjoy that side of it so far?
Yes, I do. I find it's good if I plan things out properly. It's not I would like to think that there would be more improvisation in it for me, but it works best if I have a good plan, if I make a video before and time it out properly, then it's not so much room for disappointment. I find, but I really like it, and when you're in the zone, just doing stuff.
Yeah, like we can be very quiet in the room, like
Is
Perfect.
these puppets both represent figures that you have very strong feelings about one way or the other? So your grandma and your great grandfather. When you're
Mhm.
animating them, what is the emotion behind handling the puppet that is your grandmother that you love and handling the puppet of this great grandfather that you probably have very mixed emotions about?
I
And baby
think
daddy.
I have
Yeah.
him here.
It's that. This also, I'm going to ask you after, what did your father say about seeing baby him?
I don't think he made the connection really, but that's so it happened that I didn't really know my great grandfather in person, and I think I have mixed feelings about him from all the things I know about him. I know that he that his position also was tricky and stuff like that, but it helped that I didn't have to have that much interaction with him. He's pretty static all of the time, so
Hmm.
that's also something that was kind of important to me. That's not his story, because when we were thinking about story development, was that came up a couple of times of we shouldn't maybe talk a bit more about his position or their relationship, and that was just something I didn't really feel like doing, because that's a different story, and I know that there's some interest to that, and maybe how or the way a man is supposed to be or something, like the view of that has changed in the situation, and mental health, and that's all valid points, but that's not really the story I want to tell.
Hmm.
So I thought it would be I'd be more thinking about my grandma, but then you get stuck in the room for a couple of weeks, and then that connection kind of fades into the background. And I know I have to be very careful with her, and I was with my grandma, so
You don't want to break grandma. Yeah.
no.
Like snap her arm off. Like, no, you can't break grandma's arm off. Oh, that's
Yeah, it was
that's
really
really
hard when her eyes kept popping into mine. So,
Oh.
what can I do, Grandma? What is it this time?
I really do love like that's so cool the way you describe the story because it adds so much that we get no answers from him. So it's really cool. Like it's very fitting narratively. It's awesome. In your film, the
Yeah,
window behind him is very angled and downward, and it's far from what you would think of like a window shape would be. I'm just curious why the window is shaped like that.
I watched a lot of the old black and white movies with those weird set building ideas, and I just like those weird doors and windows, and that's
Yeah.
where that came in.
Is that like Caligari's or whatever? What's the name of
Yeah.
that film? Yeah,
Yeah.
those sets are so cool.
Yeah, I'm so happy you mentioned about the window. I feel very satisfied when watching your opening shot. The radius to focus
Hmm.
is there and the mood you're building. So I love to hear more
Thank
about
you.
the the
Oh,
visual design to link to the story what you want to tell.
I'm
So,
sorry. I
mm,
because I have it on the side and I keep looking over just checking it out. And I just realized like everything is pointing like you did like full on perfect like storyboard panel kind of thing of every line, like the even the beds and the floorboards, everything points right to Grandpa.
oh, that's so nice that you noticed that. Yeah, yeah, it was quite a process, and I wanted to have it more cluttered and stuff like that, but then just for one, timing, and other that it's just helps you focus, and so that's how that came about. And then I had kind of mood boards for all the scenes. I wanted to have the Eastern scenes and like all bluish, very somber, and the other stuff like that. I always kind of described it as like old Polaroids, which are somehow saturated, but then if they lie around for too long, it gets more pastel-y sort of like, and so that's what my color inspiration for that thing was. And
Yeah.
also I wanted to have like strong shadows, or tried to in the beginning, and yeah.
Yeah, so it's possible like before long can be a concept and then you can give us more like by developing more
Yeah.
films about it, right? Either the lens or either more side of the story. Is that what you're
Mhm.
aiming for?
Yeah, I was thinking more about I have a feeling like the more people I talk to from that time, it's always like something is disappearing in their lives, and that's some sort of motif I find. So it's something that keeps coming up a lot, and that makes me want to dive more into that and maybe make some series from
Mm.
that,
You're
maybe.
gonna create a
Yeah,
new genre, Oma Noir. Yeah.
Yeah,
look forward to
sounds
it.
good.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
It's a beautiful film.
Yeah, with the I like you whisper. Thank
Yeah.
you. I
What?
love
That really means a lot, and
it. It means a lot to me too.